Hey, it's your friend Choice CJ here, and this is our Week 9 battle for the UBC. We are going up against Jack, aka Man Dog, coach of the Maryland Mienshaos, and... okay, so he doesn't have the Arcanine, which I guess is good. Otherwise, he did bring the Scizor, the Mamoswine, and the Alakazam like I expected. Vileplume, I strongly suspected was going to come. Kyurem and Togekiss are his other mons. I thought that there was a chance that they would come. Kyurem less so. So this is going to be really tough because the my Bronzong is really pressured. Blastoise is also pretty pressured in this game. So what do I want to lead with? That's the question. I've kept Jack waiting here for a little while because I had to play around with Obs. There's a good chance that he just leads off with like Scizor going for U-turn. He could also lead off with Mamoswine. I think most of the time my Bronzong actually is a pretty good lead, so let's go ahead and lead off with that. So he does go for this. So let's see. Do I just want to go for rocks? He does have this thing here. Yeah, this is tough because I don't know what kind of Scizor this is, and this thing's a threat. Like, I don't want to let it just like set up on me. I think I'm just going to click HP Fire and see what it wants to do. It probably wants to U-turn. Well, I could also just go for rocks, and if he... Let me see, because I'm worried about him like setting up an SD. So let's just look at Stoutland real quick. Let's pretend that it's a set like this. So it can take a Bullet Punch or a knockoff. It can't take a superpower most likely. So I'm just gonna go for rocks and expecting his U-turn. He goes for Pursuit. So what kind of damage is that? That didn't do hardly anything. It does suck that he... So I think he's like close to this. He's definitely some sort of defensive spread. Whether he's more Fizz Def. He's got to have a little bit of attack investment to do that much. So what if he's like, so is he 252? So that's like a low roll if he's like 252. So I don't think, so based on that, if he's Pursuit, I don't think he's going to have Swords Dance. I don't think there's a whole lot else that he can do to me here. So I'm just going to actually Gyro Ball, because I think he's going to switch out. And he goes for Pursuit again. This is actually smart of him, and I'm wishing now that I had just gone for the Hidden Power Fire. So he is leftovers, okay. So I mean, I'm okay with weakening this thing. So now what do I want to go for? Yeah, I wish I hadn't Gyro Balled. His goal there was just to weaken me enough that... that he wanted to take this out for his Mamoswine, and also for Togekiss, and also for Kyurem. Like, those are all looking like huge threats now. So now what do I want to do? I don't know what his set is. So let's look at this real quick. So Return is going to 2-hit KO. Actually, Superpower's got a chance to kill, depending upon exactly how invested he is. How much did that Bronzong's... And I'm sorry if I'm like taking a long time. I'm just really nervous because Jack is a really tough opponent. So I don't think he has this Spadef. Because look how much that Hidden Power did. It did 51. So that's pretty, yeah, that's pretty close to there. So I think he's like pretty close to fully Fizz Def. With maybe a little bit of attack investment. So what is it that I want to go into? I don't think I want to go into Buddy. Well, I could. I know, it's just risky. He's got to know, like, the Fire Fang is a thing. If I bring this in. So just bring this in and click Return. It's kind of what I want to do. Like, that's really bold because I need this. I'm just going to go to Blastoise. That's much safer. So his only switch into a Scald is the Vileplume. Let's see. Okay, so either I'm faster. Okay, he does switch out into the Vile Plume. Great. This is kind of what I wanted. As long as he doesn't go into Mamoswine here, I get a T-Wave off on something. Yeah, it really sucks that I lost the Mamoswine that early. Okay, so paralyze this thing, which is not bad. The only trouble is, of course, he does have the Pursuit. He just goes for BP, gets a crit, and we kill it with another crit. Okay. So that kind of sucks. I think that crit definitely mattered. We can go look it up. Yeah, that crit 100% mattered. So, sorry, Jack. Nothing I can do there. The thing now that I'm really scared of is the Zam coming in and going for Substitute. I think if he had it, he probably would have gone out into it immediately. Okay, so I don't know what set this is. I know that Jack loves Substitute Kyurem. I think Emma Watson's the play here. He goes for the Draco. Okay, not bad. Luckily, he doesn't really have a great Fairy Switch in anymore. So I think the play is just to Psyshock. He goes into Togekiss, which is a good play. Alright, so based on that, he's looking pretty dang defensive. He goes, no. Alright, so let's figure out... Let's figure out here how much this does to like a defensive Togekiss. So yeah, that seems pretty much right. So the only thing that's gonna stink here is if he's gonna T-Wave me. Alright, get some good damage. He's just gonna Roost. No, he goes to go for the Thunder Wave. If he just Roosts, then it kind of sucks. Yeah, he does Roost. Okay, I get a special attack drop. That's not bad. He goes for Defog, which is unfortunate. So, yeah, I don't think he's got a lot of speed. So let's just see if we go out into, like, Stoutland. That's really all that we do to a defensive Togekiss? That's it? Oh, Lord. That's really not good. He does a good chunk to us with Air Slash. And Jack's being a peen as usual. I love you, Jack, but we're gonna ignore players because you're gonna trigger me. Not that I don't mind being triggered, I just need to focus. How much does Lopunny do? It does even less. Yeah, now I'm really wishing that I had the, what do you call it? I think my play is to try and Toxic this thing. If he wants to T-Wave me, great. I have Rest. Not having the rocks is unfortunate for Kyurem. That thing is definitely a threat. Obviously the miss doesn't matter there. As long as he doesn't double, I'm pretty happy here. So that did a lot. It's because it's Life Orb. Huh. So how much does Guard do? Especially now that it's Parrot. Guard can't do a lot. It's actually nice that it's offensive, at least for, it's nice for my Lopunny. Vile Plume. We are, let's get a 252. Life Orb. Modest. And I guess before we assume, Reuniclus. Okay, so it's not, maybe not Modest. There's a chance that it's Timid, I guess. How much does Timid hit? 218. And so Gardevoir, it is Assault Vest, which is pretty nice. Does 66%, which is not enough to kill. How much does Stoutland do? Alright, so that does a good amount. That's got a good shot to kill. So I think I'd like to let this thing go down. Yeah, so he like predicts my Gardevoir switch in there, which is fine. Alright, now we can go for return and get a lot of damage off on something. And he doesn't outspeed unless, I don't know, it's literally impossible for him to outspeed. His best play is probably Togekiss. Kyurem's also not a bad play. The way he played it, I think it's either Scarf or it's Specs. I don't know because I didn't get a chance to see the damage. Alright, so it does go into the Kyurem. Please just do a lot of damage. Oh, no, it doesn't kill. That's not good. So I still think Emma Watson's okay here. I think Ice Beam's the good play. Okay, so he goes for Draco. So now I think the Togekiss is going to come in. I don't know how much speed the Togekiss has. The Togekiss is going to be what kills me. I don't have anything to take it on. Because I didn't put Thunderbolt on this Gardevoir. I also don't have anything for Mamoswine, really. So I'm going to switch into Blastoise here. Because again, I need to get the Toxic off. Okay. So does he just go for Thunder Wave? Or does he go into Vileplume? I could go into Buddy, predicting the Vileplume. I don't think that's a bad play. If it takes the T-Wave, then it would be sucked to get flinched down. But then I can fire off a Facade and get good damage off on this thing. So I think that's the play. Alright, he stays in and goes for the T-Wave. Okay, so not great. This is not what I wanted. So please don't... Okay. Come on. Just break out once. No. Okay. Well, Buddy's now worthless. Yeah, without the Bronzong, this is just such a problem for me. I have to Toxic. He just goes out to Vileplume. Because now he can Sludge Bomb on this switch in. Does a ton with that hit there. So we need to figure out Lopunny. Oh my. Chlorophyll? That's a problem. I don't know why I didn't see that coming. I think I'm fine going for this again. Because as long as I don't get parried, I can take that out. I mean, obviously we would lose at this point, so it's just a question of trying to get the differential as low as possible. So do we live a move with this from this Vileplume? If it's Life Orb, we do. It's not Chlorophyll. Because, I mean, the thing is that... Well, how much does a Mamoswine take? We don't do enough to Mamoswine to take that on. Oh, this would be really nice if we weren't paralyzed. We are Salt Vest. He gets a crit. Don't get full parried. No, Jack! Jack! How could you? How could you? Ah, this stinks. So now the question is, so do we fake out, just let the sun expire? Or do we return? Or do we agility? Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, Sunny Day. I presume he has HP Fire in the last slot. I don't know why I'm thinking so long about this. It really doesn't matter. I mean, his best play is to let this thing go down. Which he does. Okay, so I think that this is... Well, no, it doesn't matter. Togekiss takes me on at this point. Like, it really makes no difference. Yeah, it goes immediately into Togekiss. He couldn't have done that any faster. Like, his best play is to T-Wave. We get a crit, unless he misses T-Wave. Now it doesn't matter. So, good game. Disappointing that we lost, but it's kind of the outcome that I expected. I got lucky early on getting the crit on the Scizor. And he had a really smart Scizor set with the Pursuit to take on my Bronzong. I wasn't prepared enough for the Togekiss otherwise. Even having Thunderbolt on Gardevoir wouldn't have been enough, because he could just Paraflinch me down. So nothing we could do. Jack played really well. I think we had some cool sets that could have potentially worked. Because he didn't have quite as much preparation for the Lopunny as I thought. Like, it was really just this Togekiss that he had. So we could have taken it on. Also, I think the Hippowdon set that I was thinking about bringing would have done pretty well, except for that Vileplume. And also Kyurem. Kyurem with Ice Beam wrecks Hippowdon. So, good game, Jack. That was a lot of fun. We are now 6-3, but it's kind of what we expected. The last few games of this season are unbelievably hard. Starting with Jack, and now we have 4 games left this season. We play against Sir Squire, the Broadway Blastoise. We play against the Toronto Luxrays in Turkey. We play against Levine and the Boston Keldeos. And one other, we play against Drew and the Seattle Scizors. So those are going to be really hard matches to overcome. If I can go 2-2 in those, I'll be pretty happy. That'll probably put us in a playoff position, but I don't know. We'll see. So anyway, I do want to thank you guys for watching. Please be sure to check back for more Pokemon content. And until the next time, I'll see you all later.